Hey folks, Mel the Train Tutor here, and I'm back in my studio. Yeah, and we are going to do a quick sort of hobby update. Well, I say hobby update, yeah. Well, it is a hobby update, but we're about what's going on in the studio, what's going on at home, project-wise, and what I've got on the table, so you can know what's coming. Just have a bit of a general chat. Yeah, my aim moving forward is to put out one decent, really good terrain video a week, yeah, and then what you call it, a general chat, show you something other one as well. So this is a general chat one because we've already put out the MDF towers and that's quite good. Yeah, so right, this is the swamp set. With regards to the swamp set, as you can see, yeah, it's all flocked up. That was all done. Yeah, now I need to it's all painted up and everything like that. Now I need to do is just put my tufts and all that sort of stuff on, seal it, and then it will be ready for resin work. Now, once the resin work's done, we're pretty much done, and I am hopeful that it'll be out for Tuesday. But I don't know how life or my kids may throw me curveballs, but definitely next week. There's no reason it shouldn't be done for next week. Yeah, so that's all looking good. Yeah, now apologies for the iffy camera work. Yeah, I've left my gimbal at home because I'm filming in two places. And now, so it's like, I can bring stuff backwards and forwards. Yeah, and so I've left the gimbal at home, so I'm going to have to go hands-free for this and just get another gimbal at some point. Right, but over here, we have my staff. Right, let me show you what's going on with the staff. Right, the staff is going incredibly well. Yeah, I've learned a lot from it with regards to resin pouring and that sort of stuff. Now, it is actually dry, and I've just been filling up these sort of large areas. Yeah, I made so many mistakes doing this, you wouldn't believe. Yeah, and I picked the absolutely wrong bit of wood, yeah, to try and fill with epoxy, because the damn thing is that cracked. Yeah, it's cracked all the way through. This is no longer a wooden stick. This is an epoxy stick because it's filled and it's solid with 2-part epoxy. And it is solid. But I've still got a few areas, yeah, where I need to top up. I did try and sort of like be clever and sort of do a bit here and pour a little bit and catch it, but that was a stupid idea. Yeah, moving forward, just pour in the crack directly, that's horizontal. Yeah, and leave it at that. There's so much cleaning up I've had to do. There's these. This is all the resin that's fallen off. I've had to sort of sand bits, and I sort of realised that, okay, the whole thing's going to need sanding. Now, I'm not too concerned about sanding it, because if we find a bit, yeah, here's a bit. Right, see here, this is where I've sanded over the resin before, but that effect is only caused because there's abrasions in the resin and it's no longer glossy and reflects. So if I just wet it with my finger, yeah, you sort of see that, hey, that dims down, you can sort of see it's not brilliant, but when I come along and I apply at the end this coat, okay, that will fill those abrasions in. And it's exactly the same principle as we use when we're finishing off. When you do modular terrain pieces with water, and you get the lip at the end that you have to cut off. In fact, where are they? Here's one. Right, here you go. Right, when you're doing these, ain't it great? I'm in terrain, I can just show you. Right, you put the barrier up, and obviously you get the lip up. Yeah, and then what you've got to do is afterwards you take the barrier off and you get the little meniscus lip. You have to cut it off, and then to put it flat you have to sand it, and that makes it all abrasive. So what you do is you just get nail varnish, and then you just a nice glossy vet nail varnish. Yeah, not a thick one though, a nice thin one, a flowy one. You just put it over, and that will make all that go glossy again. And that's how you do that. I'm going to be applying that, the same principle, to where I've sanded this off clean. I need my gimbal. I know what I'm doing with my gimbal. Yeah. And then applying this as the sort of my glossy coat to bring it all back. So all these sanded bits, all these raggedy bits, they're all going to get sanded clean, completely clean. So there's just resin in all the cracks. Yeah, I'll lose the icons. I don't mind. I can redo those. I've got a lot better at doing those. Yeah. And then once that's done, then I'll come back and give it a single coat. And it should, well, it does, because I know I've done this hundreds of times on terrain. Well, not hundreds, but enough. Yeah, that, it'll be fine. This is where the wood was rotten. I was cleaning it away and it all fell away, so bit of milliput repair, but I'm going to bind a handle on that. Yeah, right. Now, on top of that, this has also sharpened up my resin work. And as you know, I've been knees deep in Warra Cowboy. Yeah, and so what I've been doing is, as I've been mixing up my resin, which I will be doing shortly, I've been coming along, yeah, and with the excess, instead of just trying to fill as much of these and making a mess, I've been pouring the excess into these. Now, I wish I'd done this from the start, to be perfectly honest, yeah, because the results you get, I'm not going to be able to, I don't think, oh yeah, great. Look at that. In fact, just give me a second. Let's focus in on it. Yeah, little bowls and all sorts. Now, I've been doing it as I've been going. Yeah, and these are my collection. Now, the issue I'm having is these are very fine things. You're supposed to do it when the resin is really liquid and flowy. But I'm doing it with the dregs at the end of once I've done it at the staff. So I'm getting like half pours and issues. Now, that's not a problem because these are for terrain. So I can just use that as a rotten out bucket. Yeah, a lot of the pieces that should fall in slightly short are having issues because they're resin cast pieces. The issues are at the bottom anyway, so the tops are perfectly fine. And I've been slowly going, and not only that, but I've got bottles. Yeah, there are tiny, tiny little bottles and wine glasses that I'm slowly filling. Yeah, can we get that one out? Let's give it a go. In fact, I'm just putting my phone down for a sec. Oh, come on. Get out, you kid. Oh, got you. Yeah, there we go. Right. There we are. So, another bottle. So I'm slowly going to get bottles, and my plan is in future, I'm going to do different. I'm going to work on another staff, do different colours in it. I'm going to have different coloured bottles. My saloon's going to look great. So, yeah, that's what's going on with the resin works. Yeah. So with regards to, it's full bore with resin in the studio, to be perfectly honest. So there's resin going on all that set there. Yeah. And other than the skulls and that, every other single piece is having resin on it. So even the buildings, because they've both got pools, you had to blend them in. It was just the skulls and the temple. They're just a bit too big. Yeah. But we'll see how that turns out. I've got more resin to do in that. Right, over here we've got my other practice stuff. Now I've been slowly practicing, what do you call it? I've been practicing Carly, to be truthful. Yeah, but this is another one I've been using as a walking aid up in the woods whilst I've been, what do you call it? I've been working, well, my other staff is undergoing repairs, customization. What would you call it? I don't know. What am I doing to my staff? Go on, I've got a brain. I've got like a brain haze on this one. But you know, I can describe what I'm doing with terrain, but I've got a brain haze on this one. So go on, what am I actually doing with that staff? You guys describe it. Oh, it's actually interesting because when I see your words, it actually helps remind me of things, and it helps with the recovery, guys. I'm trying my best not to talk about my mental health because we've had enough of that, yeah, and we're on the up. So, but you know, these conversations, they do help me. So let's chat. I just can't have long chats in reply to it because there's lots of you who chat with me. So, yeah, my replies will be brief, but I do read them. Trust me. They're helping greatly. Right. Here we have my other walking stick. It is in no way an offensive weapon at all, and it has been modified to be a walking stick. Yeah, specifically. Yeah, I've made it a little bit more equal. It was a bit heavy at this end, so I've thinned that out a bit. Yeah, so it's a bit more balanced. Yeah, so you know, it's a bit easier on the wrist when I'm walking with it. Yeah, yeah. So the balance is pretty good, to be honest. Yeah. Now, also, I'm using it as a practice piece. This is my stargazing stick. Okay. I really need a gimbal. I'm going to throw one on the wish list. If anyone, kind folk, wants to help out, they can help out. In the meantime, I need the cash for watching materials and paying bills. So the link's down below. But anyway. Right, Cygnus, Lyra, Vega, Polaris, Ursula Minor, Cassiopeia, Cepheus. They're constellations. I'm getting in stargazing. Yeah, it's doing me the world of good. And so, as well as the etching, this is what I'm using to practice etching. My staff. My walking stick. Yeah. At some point, I'll make a rod of Asclepius. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, so I've got to let this mature a bit. I've got to put more constellations in and play with it. And there's a little notch on there that's doing my head in, so I'm going to have to Dremel that out. Yeah, also, either that or I think what I'll do is I'll just use this paracord, yeah, and just do a rope bind on it for a handle. And I'll do a bracelet strap. I'll braid myself a bracelet strap. What? Do you not braid? Yes, that's my lunch. Yeah, you're having the full tour, aren't you? Yeah, this is my lunch. Right, this is snack corner, okay? This is where all the stuff important that I need to take home with me. Yeah, this is where it goes in the studio. Right, that's my sugar. That's me strawberry, raspberry and cranberry infusion teas. They're my chicken and salad wraps that I make myself. Yeah, they're my bananas. Yeah, that's my paracord because I brought that from home to do a job. They're my shades. That is balsa wood because some kind soul. In fact, give me a sec. Right, the Amazon parcel has been unwrapped and it is from the wish list. Yeah, and it's my thin balsa but sturdy ply. Yeah, been needing this. Plastic card is ridiculously expensive. So is so is EPVC, but that's really thin. It's really firm. And what I have planned with it, it won't warp. Yeah, especially if I go long ways with the grain. Yeah. Right. Very quick shout out. A gift from Mr. Dan Bryan. Yeah, loving the Wild West terrain. Hope this helps you do some more. From Mr. Dan Bryan. Right. Well, I can tell you, Dan, it certainly is, because this first couple of sheets, I haven't got the first few sheets of this, it's going to form the basis of my snake terrain or my worm, not snake terrain, my snake fencing or my worm fencing, the zigzag stuff that I've got to do. Which reminds me, yeah, I need to go grab the hot glue gun. Yeah, and so very quickly, Dan, it certainly will help with the you will see this that you have bought most definitely in an upcoming video within the next couple of weeks, because that's how long it's going to take me to make that many like fences and stuff like that. Which reminds me, I need to get my stash of sticks, my other sticks. Right, I've got yeah, we're good. Right, I need to get all my stuff and take that home. So much stuff going on, guys. It's unbelievable. Right, okay. Right, so anyway, this is what I'm going to do from now on. Whenever anyone sends me stuff from my wish list, yeah, if you choose to send me a message, I'm going to put it out on the channel. If you choose to put a joke in, yeah, everyone's going to see it. If you take a joke at my expense, as long as it isn't offensive and doesn't break any YouTube rules, I'll put that on the channel as well. And I'll even read it. Yeah. So if you lot want to make me read jokes about bald heads and stuff like that, I'll read them off the wish list. You help me with the channel, I'll make a fool of myself on the YouTube. That's ideal. You help me help other people, I'll give you a laugh. I don't mind. Then again, I know what you lot are like. You're going to be brutal. But wish lists. Yeah. There. Yeah, I like that. You're helping me with the hobby. Yeah, because you're getting stuff that I only use in the studio and that sort of stuff. That's what it's for. Except for the occasional kilt item and stuff like that. You know, for the video shoots. You know, I mean, I've got my top dress in, haven't I? I can't believe I'm going to wear this on the next on the next vid. On the next, yeah, it's epic. But I have the kilt now. It's just a few more accessories on the wish list that I need for you. Now, I want to understand this. I'm only doing the intro and the outro of the vid in the kilt and that sort of stuff. It's really nice. I don't want to spoil it up in the studio. Yeah, by getting resin on it or anything like that. I mean, that bit of polyester there, yeah, I've got no problem. We can do the slow-mo things with that. That's going to slowly dissolve over years, but yeah, but not the kilt. That's quite nice. But I'm not wearing that till we've got the other items, and I'm not wearing those. You know, can't get those items till you got the items above it. So that's down to you lot. In the meantime, I quite like that. Yeah, you jump on, leave me a message. I'll mock myself on the channel for your hilarity. Yeah. Now in the meantime, I really wish I had my gimbal as well, because I'm putting that on and I'm putting that above the kilt items. Yeah. You wanna? This works both ways. But my arm's getting really tired holding this up. So, Right, got to show you what we're doing up at home, because it's not just a studio, all sorts of stuff's going on. So, quick flash, not me kilt. Right, folks, we've hit the... Right, we've hit the home studio, and I'm not bothering to put my phone on the gimbal just because I'm going to be putting it on the desk pretty quickly. But, obviously, there is the home setup. Yeah, it is getting lit. It is well lit. I've got the extra light there. So, I'm sort of avoiding the shadow with that one there. Yeah, I'm going to replace that tripod with the other tripod I've got in the studio, which may be better. Yeah, I've got sort of a long arm one that Lee borrowed to me or gave me. Yeah, I'm going to use. Now, over there, I've got my flexible arm for my photies and that sort of stuff while I'm working. From this side, yeah, that turned up yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't come with one of those slips, so I can't shout you out, dude, but thank you. Yeah, over here. Right, let's have a look what we've got on the desk. In fact, let me just go pretty simple. Let's throw that on there. There we go. Right, I can show you. In fact, before we do that, yeah, quickly over here, let's talk 3D printing. Yeah, a little while ago, I was talking 3D printing. Yeah, here we have, yeah, my previous attempts. Okay. Now, I have had massive issues with this, with obviously these supports all over it. Yeah, including there's a storefront under there. Now, I've been starting to do a deep dive into 3D printing because I just thought you put it on and clicked and that sort of stuff and learning the skills. And I've figured out where I went wrong. Yeah, I needed to change my supports to organic ones, which are these sort of tree-like structures. Yeah, which are going to be a hell of a lot easier to break off. Now, right now, we have... I'm not sure if I've got the window open. Is it still open? Yeah, discard. Yeah, I've got this printing, which is just the little roof. Yeah, but that should tell me, yeah, whether these are removable, whether it'll work, and if it does, then I can have another go at 3D printing that. It'll take a day, an entire day, but I'm going to thin the base down. I've already figured out how to thin the base down and how to adjust it and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be working on that and playing with 3D. Yeah, but I am starting to really like my Anycubics. Now, let me show you why. Let's go quickly over here, because we're doing a right bandit one today. I quite enjoy it. It's about the content, not the... Right, I haven't even got my monitor set up on this, or my audio mic, so we're going a little bit rough on this one. Yeah, but I've been 3D printing barrels. Yeah. I like them. Yeah, on top of that, I've been 3D printing troughs, and I had to go at this. This is a forge. Okay, now all of these are from Knuckle Duster Miniatures. Yeah, Forrest over there. Yeah, I was on PatmaCon with him back in the pandemic, and Dave knows him, and he runs a Wild West game. I need to find out more about it so I can give him a proper shout out, which I will. Yeah, but I'll put a link down to his stuff down below. But at the minute, I can only sort of print that sort of, I'm sort of like, he sent over a load of minis and that sort of stuff, but I've only got an FDM printer, which is the one that gives lines. Lee's the one with the resin. So Lee's printing up a load of animals and some cowboys and a couple of cowgirls for me. Yeah. And I'm having to go at printing just some of these, but I really need to get my hands on a resin printer. Yeah, so because the whole point of me getting into 3D printing was for me to be able to easily knock out loads of like cheap, what you call it, terrain greeblies. Yeah, to decorate the stuff I'm custom building. Yeah, and I really need a resin for that. But I'm cracking on regardless because I'm building a livery as part of my What's the Cowboy. Now, obviously, for those of you who've been following along, you'll know Menacing Melanie is the leader of my gang. I'm not best because I haven't got my other... In fact, switch that light on. Yeah, let's turn it up. There you are. That's better. So, there you are. Totally banned it. Totally banned it. Completely enjoying it. And then, for the next lot, I've got the twins. All right, where are you? Yeah, yeah. So these two, they're not going to focus. Not a chance. Not like that. There you are. Yeah, so these two are going to be my twins. They're just base coated at the minute. I've just started to layer up her dress. I'm enjoying it. I'm messing around with colours. And because they're females, Unlike the normal Old West, which is browns and greys and stuff like that, I get to play with colours and I'm enjoying it. So, obviously we've got that going on. Yeah, I spray painted the towers, yeah, from this week's video. But I'm holding off on painting these up. The reason I'm holding off on painting these up is just quite simply, I want to get a few more together as a set and do them as a set. Now, as I mentioned in last week's video, in the other video, I've got this church and I've got a blacksmith, but I'm holding off on actually putting those together. You see, I want to customize them up, but what I'm actually thinking, or I've heard off Rich at Sarissa today, and I'll throw a link down to those awesome guys. Yeah, but they've they're sending me over some more MDF, but only small, simple shacks. I haven't asked for anything big, yeah, because this stuff is going to be the big stuff for my terrain set. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's my battle plan. Yeah, so I'm going to have lots of small shacks. I want a smaller set. These are going to be the tallest things in it. You know, I don't want any of the big stuff because it's harder to paint and harder to store, but I want a gaming set. So I've got these 3D printed stuff. I did put together the forge from So I've got an MDF forge. Now I'm going to customize this up, yeah, with a bit of green stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, and I've got also a little 3D printed storage. So there's a benefit for going at like the chunky MDF one, but they can both go in my blacksmith. Why not both? It works. Yeah, so that's my basic battle plan. Now I've got the rest of my What Cowboy gang. Obviously, I've got my drawings up there. I mentioned that I was going to do the Harris fencing and that sort of stuff. And I've sort of come to a realization very quickly that I've got quite a lot going on at the moment. I've got really into the hobby and I've got lots of stuff. And there's the potential that I could be starting more, more projects than I really should. Because I've still got to learn all sorts of things. And on top of that, I'm practicing. If we just turn this up, yeah. Oh, made a mare, pressed the wrong button. But as part of my sort of work on What a Cowboy, I'm working on drawings and doing campaign maps. Now, I don't know whether that was just when I got straight back into it, something easy that I could do from home creatively. And now I'm back model painting and that sort of stuff. It's sort of taken a tail end. Yeah, I don't know how that will pan out. Yeah, but it's like with the Harris fencing, not the Harris fencing, the snake and worm fencing, yeah, from the American Civil War period. I could dive into that and start prepping that, but I need to get jobs finished. So what I need to do is prioritize jobs and actually get things finished, but still have enough interesting stuff going on. So what I'm going to be working on is I'm going to be working on, with regards to the Wild West stuff, when Rich from Sarissa drops down the the small buildings, which should be here by this weekend or Monday, hopefully. Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to focus on customizing those up in the sort of balsa wood style and that sort of stuff. Yeah. At the same time, I'm going to finish off painting up my gang. So I'm going to finish up Menacing Melanie's gang. Love that. Yeah, so I'm going to finish painting up my gang and get them complete. By my gang, I mean these characters, which I believe is 7. Yeah, so I've got 7 characters there. Yeah, I believe that should give me... I don't know, I don't really want to use any of them as henchmen. They're not men, they're henchwomen. But you have henchwomen. Yeah, so I need to figure that out, maybe get some more. But that's my gang. So we're going to do those. We're going to do, we're going to build up basically we're going to build up, reskin, and then black, some more terrain before we actually paint it. That'll be our terrain building on the What Cowboy. And then in the studio, I've got my staff to finish, and I've just got to finish the swamp build. Once I've done those, yeah, and we get to the stage of painting them, once they're painted and I'm painting those, then I'll look at Harris fencing. And we'll have to look at a new project to start in the studio as well. In fact, I could take those in to be the studio project to paint there, where I've got all my stuff. Yeah, that would work. I'm thinking, guys, right. But basically, I wanted to get I'm connecting with you. I'm sharing my hobby with you. I'm enjoying it and I'm enjoying the comments. So listen, share your thoughts. really get into the comments, guys. I'm enjoying this, and you are clearly enjoying me producing content again, and it's getting better. I'm getting sharper. My mind's getting sharper as I'm doing it. All this healthy living and this going out in the woods and this grounding and eating nothing processed. Do you know, I haven't had a single E number enter my body in over a month. Not a single bit of processed food. Well, there's a bit of calcium carbonate, but that's preservative. You can't get around that. That's in bloody everything, but that's just salt. I can live with that, but it is having massive benefits. And you are reaping the rewards, and so am I, because I'm sharing my hobby. So I'm going to carry on messing around with the 3D printing. I've got a bit more painting to do. Yeah, I'm doing painting tonight, and I'm messing around with 3D printing stuff and figuring that out. Yeah, I've got some butties left over from the studio there, so that's my lunch from earlier. Yeah, so I'm good. It's cracking on time. Anyway, I'm going to edit this video up. All I need from you guys is, one, jump in the comments, talk to me. Yeah, let's have interesting conversations. I won't be you may write long messages, but I will not be able to reply with long messages because there's too many of you to reply to. But I do read them all, okay, and I do find them interesting. Yeah, beyond that, other than that, obviously links down below. Yeah, obviously the wish list, hand over stuff on that if you want me to see me fill that sort of stuff, but also the PayPal. Patreon doesn't quite cover all the monthly bills, yeah, so I need this because I'm struggling, okay? So if you want to help me out, there's the PayPal. If you want to help get the studio kit, that sort of stuff, there's the wish list. Yeah, and beyond that, other than that, editing up time, then hobby time. I love this. I'll catch you soon, folks. All the best, yeah? Ta-da.